In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to do a PC to PC replacement. So what we have is we have a new virtual machine. This is bare metal. It has nothing on it. And what I've done is I've inserted the ISO that is created on the server itself. This is the default deploy ISO. If I were to pull up the Swimage configuration console and go to image components WinPE media, you're going to see this is the one created right here. And then if you were to go to the server itself and go to the drive that is got Swimage installed and go to the Swimage folder under WinPE ISO, you will see this is the same ISO that is now mounted to the virtual machine I'm going to build. If you wanted to put this on a stick to do a bare metal deployment, you can do that as well. All you have to do is mount it and copy the contents here to a formatted NTFS stick with an active partition. I'm going to inject that. Okay, and go back to my virtual machine. So we have it mounted, and then all I have to do then is power it on. And what this is going to do when you power it on is going to boot into PE from that mounted ISO. Again, if it could be booted off the stick, you can also put that onto Pixie if you'd like to. Okay, it's initializing Swimage. It loads all the instructions. What it's going to do is it's going to talk to the server and it's going to retrieve the future state. Okay, and then it gets a future state, and it will contact the server and get a name if it's there already, or you'll type this in. Now, this is going to be a PC replacement, so I've already identified this machine on the server, so I've given it a name. And then what you're going to do is you're going to select a computer role. So this is a PC swap direct data transfer. Okay, so you select this role. And then what it's going to do is it's going to assign all the templates necessary for this specific role. And the direct data transfer, what it does is it adds one custom script called enable DDT. Swimage will pick that up as its key for enabling a direct data transfer and launch the data transfer process at the correct time. So that's really all this particular role does. Besides all the other general stuff. So it assigns applications, it assigns whatever registry punches are part of it, all based on the standard stuff, but mainly changing the process to enable DDT. Okay. You also have the ability to add additional templates at this point. If you know that this PC is going out to someone in the IT department, you can go ahead and add that. So I'll go ahead and add that to that. And it's going to add some applications for the IT department as well, okay, or whatever was in that template. Okay, so that's all we need to do, and we hit continue. Now it is possible to pre-provision that future state. We have another video on how to do that by going into the computer console and doing import. I can show you that really quickly in case you don't want to watch that other video, but under here, import computers. And when you import that computer into Swimage, it'll already define that future state, and you just define that, add the correct role for direct data transfer, and then it'll skip that future state screen. So I'm going to let this run. What it's going to do is it's going to it formats the drive, partitions it, and then drops the image, customizes it, and then puts it in a wait state for direct data transfer. It takes about 10 minutes to do that, so I'm going to minimize this, and then we'll come back when it's finished. Now the PC is to the point where it's ready for data transfer. It's been about 10 minutes and up to this point from bare metal to when it's asking for this. At this juncture, what could happen is you can start the old computer's direct data transfer process, or very commonly you would power it down, ship the PC out if it's a home user, to their home, and all the user has to do is boot the PC back on, and it's going to return right to this screen. It does that very quickly. It's a great way to have self-service direct data transfer, making the new machine look exactly like the old system. It transfers data, settings, personality, and application information over to this new PC. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to simulate what it would be like to be that home user. So I'm going to bring up my other system. Okay, here's now the old PC. And what I'm going to do here, let me move this aside just a little bit so you can see both of them, is I'm going to start the direct data transfer process. Very simple process that the users can do themselves. You're going to run the Swimage Assist tool. This could also be done from the portal directly. So if you don't have access to this PC, you can run this over the network. So what I'm going to do is go to the fish, which is our deployment icon, and I'm going to say migrate to new PC. Okay, what this is going to do is it's going to put this PC in a deployment state, and it's going to start handshaking to the new system, and all of the information about this PC, its data, settings, so forth, is going to be transferred. All you have to do is hit the deploy button, and the process will begin. Okay, now the direct data transfer has been initiated, and it gives us a pairing code. This is an important code to pay attention to because this is what allows these computers to talk to each other over the network. This can be done over wireless, over a LAN network, or if all you have is a Ethernet cable, you can plug it directly from Ethernet to Ethernet, port to port on the two PCs, and they will handshake and transfer that way. This one's going to be just simply over the network. So you type in the pairing code, make sure they match, and apply it onto the new device. The second you apply that, they're going to start talking to each other over the network. Now they're connected, they will start transferring the data. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up for this demonstration so we don't have to wait, but kind of give you an example of data transfer takes anywhere from a few minutes to maybe a couple of hours, depending on CPU speed, amount of data, so on and so forth. But it's really not a terrible process at all. Okay, now the transfer is completed. The new PC will reboot, and it will continue to install all the applications and configure the device. And on the old device, what you can do is simply hit the close button, and it's going to shut it down, and it can be sent back to the IT center for disposal or being repurposed. Optionally, Swimage can also do a wipe on the device. That typically doesn't happen so that the information can stay intact, but that can take place on high security devices. So we'll go ahead and close this out. And the device will shut down, and we can close that, and we can wait for the new device to complete the deployment. It's in the process now of joining the domain, initializing the system, and is going to restore all the applications and settings to this device. This will take just a few minutes to finish, and it will be ready to log in. Now the PC is finished, and it is rebooting for the very last time, and it's going to boot up and now allow us to log in. There it is. I'll go ahead and log in. And it's going to go through and rebuild the profile and merge the default profile with the profile that got restored from the old system. And we should have all of our data, settings, everything back again. Okay, now we're logged in. And Swimage will come up with the Post-Swimage screen, which allows the user individual to change the language if he wants to, and change the locale, culture, keyboard settings, all sorts of things. Okay, we'll go ahead and exit that. And then you'll see the background is transferred. All of our applications have transferred. Our data has transferred. We'll open up some folders. There's all our data. And this PC is ready to use. It looks exactly like the old device, except it's got new hardware. It has a rebuilt operating system, but otherwise everything has been transferred to work operationally exactly like the old system.